Welcome to Network Analysis. All the study materials is available in the blog. You can scan this QR code to download the materials. So in module 5, we just studied Z parameter and solved few problems on finding Z parameter for a given network. In this session, we will solve some problems on Y parameter. Y parameter is also called as short circuit admittance parameter. The main equation here for Y parameter is as shown. Here the currents I1 and I2 are represented in terms of voltage V1 and V2. Y11, Y12, Y21, Y22 are obtained by making either V1 0 or V2 is equal to 0. So these are called Y parameters. So the model for Y parameter is as shown. So here you are going to see Y11, Y12, V2 and then Y21, V1 and then Y22 is shown here. Here in Y parameter, we are expressing I1 and I2 in terms of V1 and V2. We are using Kirchhoff current law here. So let us try to find Y parameter for the simple network that is shown. So we have to use KCL here. So in order to use KCL, let us mark the nodes, working node and the reference node. So here we have the node V3 is working node and this is the reference node. So show the direction of current entering into the working node. So I1 is entering here, I2 is entering into V3 and I3 is leaving. So use KCL at V3. So we can write expression for I1. I1 is equal to V1 minus V3 by 1. So here we got the equation I1 is equal to V1 minus V3. We got V1 here, but V3 is not expected here. So let us keep this equation for the time being. Let us write expression for I2. I2 is nothing but the current that is given by V2 minus V3 by 3 ohm. So V2 by 3 minus V3 by 3 will get. Again here I2 is expressed in terms of V3 here, but we want V1 and V2 here. So let us write expression for current I3. I1 plus I2 is equal to I3. So, but what is I1? I1 is V1 minus V3. Substitute here. What is I2? V2 by 3 minus V3 by 3. And here V3 by 2 we have. Simplify this expression. We will get V3 in terms of V1 and V2. Now, equation 1 and 2 is having V3 term. So substitute this equivalent V3 expression in equation 1 and 2. So on simplification, when we substitute V3, we are going to get I1 in terms of V1 and V2, I2 in terms of V1 and V2, which matches with the standard equation that is defined for Y parameter. So what are these? These are nothing but the Y parameter Y11, Y12, Y21 and Y22. So it is represented in terms of matrix here. So find Y trans parameter for the network which is shown. Here we are going to see there is a dependent current source. So mark current I1, I2 and I3. So writing KCL at V3, what is KCL? I1 is equal to here 2V1 plus V3 minus V2 by 1 ohm. Simplify this, we'll get I1 is equal to 2V1 plus V3 minus V2. But what is I1? I1 is given by V1 minus V3 by 1 by 2. So what is the expression for I1? I1 is 2 into V1 minus V3. Now we have I1 here. Substitute the expression for I1 here in equation 2 and simplify. We will get V3 in terms of V2. So let this be equation 4. Now substitute equation 4 in equation 2 here. On substituting equation 4 in 2, we'll get I1 in terms of V1 and V2. So what this 2 and minus 2 by 3 represent? It represent Y11 and Y12. So write KCL at V2, that is nothing but I2 is equal to V2 by half is nothing but 2V2 plus V2 minus V3 by 1 ohm. So what is V3? V3 is V2 by 3. Substitute here, simplify here, we'll get 8 by 3 V2. So in this session, we learnt what is Y parameter and how to obtain Y parameter for some simple problems. Thank you. Keep learning. Happy learning.